Hello everybody and welcome to NBL Overtime, all thanks to LD Mobile. Another huge weekend in the books. The Cairns Taipans were unbelievable. Perth Wildcats weren't as unbelievable, but it seemed like we wrote them off last week, so we shouldn't have at all been surprised. Melbourne United celebrated one of their greats in the best possible way, and the Sydney Kings went zipping too and surprised us all. Plenty to get into. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Hashtag See Incredible, as I'm joined by the walking headline. I tell you this, I've got to watch all your stuff on social media. And then when I open the papers, I've got to read the same thing back again. Man, how you doing?
I'm good. Surprise to us all. How you doing?
Are you getting paid for the work? Like, do you get paid extra on that type of stuff?
Why you always ask me when I say things, do I get paid? I wish. I'm going to start charging.
And the man who writes so many of those great headlines, you can now see Studs and Duds. It's up on NBL.com.au. Liam Santamaria, hello to you.
How are you, mate?
Big weekend.
You're talking the Wildcats down off the top?
No, I wasn't talking them down. No, they were unbelievable.
They came down and beat Southeast.
They were unbelievable. We shouldn't be surprised by what they did, is what I'm saying. Because we all seemed to jump off them a week ago, and now they were great.
Give the Wildcats some love.
Well, I think, considering we're going to give them 12 minutes in the show, I think that's enough, isn't it?
Let's do that.
So let's start with the Cairns Taipans, who went 2-0 on the weekend on Friday night. They beat around a New Zealand team who were really disappointing, but then they went to Kudos Bank Arena. And only one man in the country really thought they could win. That was Scory Homicide Williams. But they had a hell of a weekend, boys.
Yes, they did. Very impressive with how they're going in the first half of the season. I wrote them off. I said they would be in dead last. Let's not even discuss the Cairns Taipans. And lo and behold, they've won 7 games. They're 500 at the halfway mark in the season with an impressive win on Sunday versus the team I picked, and I'm sure a lot of people picked, to win the championship, the Sydney Kings. The way they went about their business, just as much as you guys, are extremely impressed with how they went about this. DJ Newbill, 31 points. Quat Noy missed 1 shot, 21 points. Sky Machado, 23, 9, and 7. Dang, Space Cam, the whole team came to play. You know, Chris Lovich came to play. You know, he even came in, got some action. Hit a 3. The Serbian sniper, former Townsville Croc.
Yeah.
Mirko came in and does what he does. He reminds me, low-key, with the minutes that he get, kind of like a Vinnie Johnson. Comes in, the microwave, comes in, and just let it go.
Yeah.
And that's a confident role that he's playing with the minutes that he's getting. So salute to the Cairns Taipans, who have now entered the top 4.
This is not a flash in the pan. This is not just this weekend.
Not at all.
They have been the best team in the NBL over the past month.
Yep. 5-1.
They've won 5 of their last 6. And we talk about it, the fact that they're giant killers, right? And they've beaten Melbourne twice, Perth twice, beat Sydney once, lost to them in the first game of the season. Brand new starting 5. Not one player on the starting 5 when Jawai is not in the starting lineup. Was on the team last year. So it's going to take a little time to gel. The one thing that has been, and they've done a great job putting that team together. Perfect. And Scott Machado is the key to it all. The way he plays and feeds all those mouths, and just a great leader. But the thing that has been the biggest factor for me is they've been remarkably healthy. We said coming into the year, well, what's the problem with this team? Depth is the issue, right? And of all those 6 guys, one of them's missed 1 game over the course of their 14 games. DJ Newbill, they lost that game. Anytime they have one of those 6 guys out, it's going to be a struggle.
Right.
And so in a playoff series or things like that, if they're missing a guy, it's going to be an issue. But if they've got them all on the floor, they can beat any team in the league and they can be anything.
A month ago, I called them the most frustrating team in the NBL. And a lot of that was based on the fact they go to Perth, they smacked around the Wildcats. They probably should have beaten the Kings on the opening Friday night. They had their chances there. They've beaten Melbourne twice, and all the exact reasons you pointed out. Well, they lost twice, 3 times to the Illawarra Hawks, and that's where I called them frustrating. But it just seems, and you touched on it, the pieces that are all there, so much new for the first time, consistently able to get the job done. And we are going to do and announce our all-NBL teams and our MVPs and Defensive Player of the Years at the mid-season point. There's no doubt there's going to be a plethora of Cairns Taipans involved, and they are so... And this is something we all understood and we all predicted. They are so fun to watch. And we had the feeling they were going to be fun to watch prior to the year. I don't think we thought they were going to be this fun while being this good at their best, but they are. And what they did on Saturday afternoon was brilliant and brilliantly fun.
And what I like about them is they're playing at a high level at both ends of the floor, right? They're shooting the piss out of the ball. My goodness.
Yeah.
Deng, Newell, Mirko, Jerick, these guys all shooting over 40% from three. Noy and Oliver are both threats from out there. And Scotty Machado is just, as you say, doing the dishes and setting everybody up. But defensively, hey, they've got the second best defensive rating on the year because Scott leads it. DJ Newell is one of the best defensive players in the league, and the rest of them are long and athletic. And you tip your hat to a guy like Majuk Deng, for whom defense was a real question mark over him over the course of his career thus far. And the questions say, well, you want to step into a bigger role and play starters minutes, become a star in this league? Let's see if you can defend somebody. And he's been really good at the defensive end.
And guess who's their head coach? It all starts from the top. Mike Kelly has known, when he played in this league, he was known to be a tough defender on ball. So it all starts from the top. He's given the directions. And the best thing about this, look, if I'm a player on that team, import or local, we are 6, maybe 7 deep, honestly, right? What does that mean? You're going to get minutes. And guess what else that means? You're going to get shots. So everybody's out there playing for each other, knowing if I swing it a couple of times, don't matter. I'm going to be in the game, and I'm going to get my look, which means that transfers over on the defensive end. There's no complaining, oh, I'm not getting the ball, this import's going nuts. Scott's giving everybody their looks, and he takes care of himself later or late in the shot clock. So everybody knows they're going to eat. So, yes, they're not deep. However, everybody knows they're going to eat. So that's the plus side of not being so deep.
And it leads us into a wonderful Thursday night of NBL hoops this weekend. The Cairns Taipans, who were great, against the Perth Wildcats, who are also unbelievable. Off the top of my show, the Red Army already given me a spray on Twitter. I didn't mean they weren't unbelievable. Simply that we shouldn't have been surprised that they would bounce back after that disappointing loss. They obviously took on the Sydney Kings first. It doesn't matter who you are, in what league in the world. If you drop 70 in 20 minutes, you're having a hell of a good night and you bounce back in the way. And they were talking fun, they were fun to watch.
Well, they sure were. They were unbelievable, as you say, Cam. And Clint Steindl, shout out to Clint Steindl, because as we know, he's a really important part of what they do.
He reminds me of Vinnie Johnson.
They are elite at executing in the half court and getting the right guys' shots. Look at them. They all know when, you know, where the ball's supposed to be going, and it's because Cotton and White, first and foremost, those guys shot 47 shots between them on Friday night. And then it's Steindl and the other guys make plays out of all of that. And then the other part of being, you know, an effective Wildcats team is you need to be absolutely monstrous on the offensive glass. And they did that in both their games this week. 23 offensive boards against Perth, and then another 19 in this game against Southeast Melbourne. So that's the number one thing on the top of the whiteboard. Will Weaver said it post-game. He said, look, yeah, they did some work on our coverages. Yeah, they hit some shots. But we gave up 23 offensive rebounds, and that was really the key to the game.
Well, Bryce Cotton was great all day, which is traditionally what we expect. But Tariko White, who loves that building, played so particularly well last year in that grand final series. In that fourth quarter, again, stood up and just shut the door on the Phoenix, who got a half little whack in studs and duds from Liam Santamaria today, I did see. What did you make of the Perth Wildcats in their weekend?
I think they were extremely impressive. You know, I'm the hardest critic in the country of the Wildcats. I keep it real. I call it as I see it. When you have disgusting losses, I will tell you, you played disgusting. And rightfully so. They know it, they have to agree with what I'm saying because it's true. 18-0 run to close out a game and lose against the Cairns Taipans. Then you go home and you just get your pants literally pulled down by the Adelaide 36ers. It looked like DJ was in practice. That is inexcusable. I make a video, and rightfully so. What do they do when the champs come? Well, the guys that I picked to win, the hottest team in the NBL, the Sydney Kings, they manned up. Their back was against the wall, and like Bryce Cotton said in his post-game interview, I don't know about this team, but this team is one thing about us. We just will ourselves to win when our back is against the wall. And it was true.
Can't wait for Thursday night. Hey, in the preseason, you got something else in the Wildcats?
I just want to build on what Corey was saying there, because in this league, you need to be resilient, because no team is going through this league easy. right?
It ain't a cupcake league.
Right. And so the Sydney Kings are being asked those kind of questions right now. And the Brisbane Bullets have been asked those questions. They're falling away. I thought they were going to be a resilient team.
You're the only one on the island, Liam.
I thought they were going to be a resilient team with the people that they have involved, and they haven't been.
I'd hold your bullets on bullets, because we'll get there later.
We get there.
But the Wildcats, year after year, the whole country was closing in on them last year about getting a third import. You don't have what it needs. You don't have enough. But they're resilient, and they have the people involved, Damien Martin, Jesse Wagstaff. Bryce Cotton's a part of that core now, Trevor Gleeson, that know that they can get in the trenches and come through, and time again they do that.
And on top of that, to add to that, all it did was carry over that confidence and that swagger coming off of that huge win in their building and brought it to Melbourne when they beat the Phoenix. And that was an impressive game, because when you think about it, the Phoenix were pretty much in control of that game till fourth quarter. Boom, 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 a couple of threes, bombs, and then that was it right there. And, you know, again, resilience. We've been here before. We know what it takes. They had 15 threes on the road because of the hot shooting that they had in RAC Arena 2 nights before. That was extremely impressive.
Phoenix had been sitting around preparing for them the whole week.
They
played less than 48 hours earlier across the other side of the country.
It's that confidence carrying over. That's exactly what it was. The #1 defensive team in the league, the best team in the league, they put 70 on the board on.
In the pre-season, Corey Homicide Williams told us down in Tasmania that Scotty Hopson will be the MVP of the league.
Yep.
Now, injuries, of course, have stalled him, and he sat on the sideline for a number of weeks, and the Glenn Rice Jr. saga was punctured, unfortunately, with controversy. But last night, we did see Scotty Hopson get back on the court. Minutes restriction, 14 and 6. They had a big win over Brisbane. I'm going to throw to you, Homicide, because he is the smoothest almost player in the league. Is he the reason or the difference in the New Zealand making some type of run this year?
He will be the difference maker, but it doesn't matter because they're not making finals. The hole is too deep. Anyway, love his game, loves what he brings that veteran leadership. He can do a lot of different things. He can score in so many different ways, and he's a big shot taker and a big shot maker. Defensively, he will be there for you. As you can see, like the way he plays like an NBA player, like a legitimate 2 or 3 man. The guy got some big game, and they've missed him. He's been out for a long time, and I just think that the hole is too deep for them to get out of.
I agree. I don't think they're going to get there, but they're going to make a run.
Yeah.
I said this last week.
They are going to make a run.
I said this last week. I said at some point we'll fall in the conversation. Can New Zealand make the playoffs?
Well, this is the thing. We think the race for 4th spot's fun right now with Cairns, Adelaide, Brisbane, South East Melbourne. They're going to get involved in that conversation.
Thank you.
And it's not just because Scotty Hopson.
Right.
It's because they're all getting healthy. Finn Delaney has been amazing since he's come back.
Yes, he
Great
has.
to see a return to form from him after a bit of a struggle at the World Cup. Corey Webster steps right back on the floor and drops 23, doesn't miss a beat. Rob Lowe is really important to that team. Maybe not putting up big numbers, but in how that team works. They can bring Brandon Ashley off the bench. He can avoid that early foul trouble and he can have a bit of an impact. And as we know, they've got a run here where they're not going to play the top 3 for a bunch of games. So I think they're going to win a few in a row. Everyone's going to get all excited. Like you say, it's a long way back from where they are, and some of the other teams have a bit of a head start. I don't think they're going to quite get over the hump, but with him and the rest of the guys back...
Welcome, Liam.
They're going to make a run.
you know what would be great this year? What would be great?
Tell me.
Cam Luke wildcard game, 4v5 in the week of the finals, one-off elimination. All right.
I tell you what, Matt Walsh can be wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Let's get to the Sydney Kings, because they were disappointing. When you are as good as you have been over the first couple of months of the season, even though you've got to go to Perth, it's never easy, and take a team like Cairns on, even though it's at home, there are no easy games. You've got to be resilient, but zip and 2, I don't think anyone did know, or at least expect it to be on the way. And then... you, my man, went nuts about defence and Andrew Bogut and pick and roll defence. So let's have a little bit of a look. And you talk us through what you were pointing out on your social media over the last couple of days. And Matt Logue then wrote an article about it. What are you saying?
Well, for me, Andrew Bogut is just playing too deep in his coverage. Yes, he's told to play that deep, okay? Rim protector, cool. That works against teams that don't have as many guns on the court from the point guard position, the shooting guard position, and the 3 position. All right? They're getting free looks at the basket. These guys love to hit the mid-range shot. They can shoot it and make it. This is good defense in AAU basketball against guys that's in 6th place, 7th place, 8th place. This does not work against guys like this. All right? Now, when you want to step up, guess what? Everybody has confidence and a full head of steam, and they're going to attack you. It's too late the way he's playing this defense against these teams. And no, it ain't even funny how the teams that are hitting these shots are the teams that they lost to. I'm not saying he has to step up out of the paint. I'm not saying that. But look how these guys, the defenders, are getting free hits. Look at this. Wide open. Step up a little bit. You don't have to leave the paint, but step out a little bit and give your defensive teammate some time so that offensive player could think a little bit about that free look. If I'm playing against the Sydney Kings, right, and I'm a gun as a guard, and Casper Ware's putting big pressure on me, guess what I'm going to say? I'm going to just tell my center, look, come on down here, set a screen, because I know when I come off that screen, I'm going to be wide open, and that's a look that I need. If I'm one of those guards, I'm pissed off because I'm tired for 4 quarters. Everybody's like, yeah, get over the top, get over the top. Try playing defense on a gun player, and there's a free, clean hit. The guy's finishing it. Look at the score. New Bill, 31 points. Quadnoy, 21. All right? Scott Machado, 21. The game before that, Cotton, 28. White, 20. Steindl, 13. All this action is coming off of open looks. People think I talk a lot of trash. I'm not. I'm dead serious about this. Second half of that last game, I didn't say anything about the Perth game because they're 11-1. They're due to lose. It's okay, no big deal. I didn't say nothing. I went on Twitter and said, look, it's no big deal. They were due to lose. On to the next. And then you play the same type of AAU defense, and it doesn't work, and you don't switch it up. By the time you get to the 4th quarter, it's too late. The juices are flowing. He stepped out and guarded the 3. What happened? Majuk Deng walked into it like KD. Walked into the 3. Wow. Krislovich hitting with Bogut guarding him. It's too late. You cannot wait to the 4th quarter and decide, all right, I'm going to come out and play D. It's too late. That's where the confidence is brewing. You cannot give a guy an open look the whole game and him knowing he's going to be open. He's going to be like, he's not even contesting? That's disrespect. You are disrespecting good players. Again, it ain't 7th place team, 8th place team you playing against where you can get away with that. How deep is the rotation for Cairns?
7.
They know they're going to play. So they like, well, even if I miss, I'm confident knowing I'm not going to get subbed out if I miss a couple of shots. I'm going to play. Let me get this shot. I'm sure teams meet pre-game. Attack Bogut. If nothing else, call your 5-man up. You're going to get a free look. I'd be doing that all day.
Look, you said this is not a defense that works against scoring guards. Actually, this defense worked terrifically well against the entire league over the first half of the season. Right, they're 11-1, and in those 11 wins, they beat every single team in the league. And do you know how they beat them? They beat them playing that deep. Now, is it going to work every single game for the whole year? No. Teams are going to make adjustments. This is a heavily scouted league. There's only 9 teams. You've got 8 opponents over the course of the season. You play them all pretty much 4 times. So they're going to scout you. They're going to make adjustments. When you beat them a certain way, they're going to make adjustments next time round. And sometimes those adjustments are going to then force you to have to adjust. And they will adjust. Bogut will play the percentages, right? Certain guys, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to make you hit a few from the mid-range. Other guys, I'm going to come out a little bit further. Next time they play the Wildcats, he's going to come up just high enough so that Cotton can't get to the floater, so that he has to shoot the mid-range pull-up, which he's pretty good at. But if you can keep him away from the rim, the floater, off the foul line and off the arc, you force him to shoot the mid-range, then the percentages will work out in your favour. It did not work this weekend. They are still far and away the best defensive team in the league, and Bogut anchors that.
They're not the best defensive team in the league. That's AAU basketball. All those guys got to do is hit the shots. They didn't change till the 4th quarter. How long do you wait? That's my question. How long do you wait to step up? His head is under the basket. How long do you wait? That's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying step out hedge, step out double, show hard. No, they'll get ate up. He can't recover in a full game like that. You got to step up higher.
Yeah, the other thing
that's all. You got to step up higher.
You talk about it's all been on Bogut, and Deshaun Taylor clapped back at you on Twitter, and I agree with you.
He's a rookie. He played 5 games in a pro league. He's gonna do that.
But the point is,
say like, I'm helping my teammate.
No, hold on. The point that he's making is that it's not just on Bogut.
What more can they do?
He is the key part of that.
What more can you do?
You watch. I mean, we won't play him again, but you watch those.
What more can you do as a point guard?
You watch those clips, and they got held. But they got held up on those picks.
You're gonna get held up
more in those couple of games than they had all season.
Because it's good screens being set.
No.
It's bad screens being set.
No, it's good screens being set. But I think the key thing was an element of complacency defensively by the whole team. Bogut, yes, but also the guys on the ball saying, hey, you know, we're 11-1 and we're the best defensive team in the league. And they just weren't working as hard on those coverages. Watch the clips
I'm
back.
not buying that.
Didi, Jayshawn Tate, Casper Ware, they're all getting held up on those picks. And as a result, the coverage breaks down.
What happened in Perth? They got held up on those picks. I agree with that. We come in like rock stars. We 11-1. That's supposed to happen. We're just going to rock up. We're going to win. I get you. I agree. They get clapped, right? And get disrespected on the boards. What's supposed to happen that next game? You don't think your mentality is going to change a little bit? We're coming in. I just got slapped in the face. All of us. We're going to come handle business.
Yep. It didn't, though.
Why?
That's the problem.
Why didn't it happen?
That's the problem they need to address, because it didn't change.
They're supposed to change that.
Hang on. A little more in double overtime, which we'll release shortly. We've got to get on. We've got to move on to the Illawarra Hawks, who have added a little bit of help in the last week. Of course, LaMelo Ball looks like he'll be out for a month. Tell us about their new, and the irony is, unfortunately for Illawarra, they probably need a little help in the guard position now that LaMelo's going to miss a month. What can you tell us about these two guys?
This is Darrington Hobson. These are the clips of Darrington Hobson late in his last season in Italy. 6'7", veteran swingman, average, I think, 13, 6 and 4, 40% from 3. Very long, lefty. Just a talented guy that's going to be able to help them offensively a hell of a lot. And an experienced head. So that's who he is. I'm still, to be honest, wrapping my head around why they've gone with a 6'7" swingman and a 6'10" power forward. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to get onto the guys from Illawarra to get the explanation, and we'll see how to play. Now, this guy I'm excited to see in the NBL, Billy Preston. Here are the clips of him playing with Scoochie Smith at the Summer League last year. And we got a chance to watch a whole bunch of him because Scoochie was really playing well at this tournament. And a 22-year-old, former McDonald's All-American, things just haven't worked out for him advancing into his pro career. But this guy is legitimately an NBA talent. Can step out and shoot it. Look at him just stroke that thing from range. A great athlete. If he can lock in, integrate well within the team, he has a chance to be really, really good in this league.
Have you seen AJ Ogilvie's?
It's been okay.
His minutes are going to drop now, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is I agree with you. To replace a guy like Aaron Brooks with two bigger guys is an interesting. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to work. Well, Frolling's not there as well, so there might have been a little bit, I guess, of a reason behind it.
I didn't think they should bring in an import, and the reason.
No, I'm with you.
The reason was let's develop the kids. Well, when you look across their roster, apart from Sam Froling, all the guys that are going to be the future of this club are going to be Detch, Glover, Greeter, Emmett Nah.
Yep.
So I guess the idea is with LaMelo, he's still going to be here. And all these kids, let's play them. Let's get some help up on the front line.
All right. You want to do Santa's watching first or you want to do awards? Let's do Santa's watching first before we get to our mid-season predictions or statements and how we're sending you so far.
All right.
What have you seen?
Let's have a look. Can't remember what we're rolling with first. Mirko, the Serbian sniper. We need a Serbian lip reader, although the expression kind of, the gestures kind of give it away. It's like, come on, you got to be kidding. Another rough week of handshakes. Off and on the court. Daniel Kickett just leaving John Taylor hanging there. Ty Wesley, this is not how you treat the coach's son, mate. And we're on Ikuru watch at South East Melbourne. Postcode impresses. And Jerome Randall liked it. Jayshawn Tate stole something. Steindl, he's like, oh, that was he's like, the Blackwater was a mistake.
Oh, my goodness.
They're up and about. in New Zealand for sure. And just quietly, just quickly, there's the lady on the right trying to get involved?
Oh. Definitely getting involved.
Why did we stop the tape there?
All right. Mid-season, we are there, remarkably.
Yes.
It has gone extremely fast, and that traditionally happens when there's so much news happening almost on what seems to be a day-to-day basis. So we have put together our mid-season awards. This isn't a prediction for the end of the year. It's how we've actually watched and thought we were going to play it out if they were to hand out the awards right about now. Throw them up there. So there's our MVP.
Oh, wow. Wow. Machado.
I tell you what, very rarely are we a long way from it. I actually had...
Walk us through it, Cam.
Well, I actually had Creek and Machado actually as a draw, and they told me that I had to go one particular way. I think Mitch Creek's been unbelievable for a team. That
Sean Long, defensive player of the year?
Yep.
What planet are you on?
What planet are you on for Bogut to be there? He doesn't play any D. He sits with his head under the basket.
Leads the league
Blocks
in
a couple of
defensive
shots.
rating. Is the
Blocks a
anchor
couple
of the
shots.
best defensive team in the league.
They're not
gotta
playing
be.
defense.
Are you taking this seriously?
I am. Why is Machado not MVP of the league?
Because everything revolves around Bryce Cotton in Perth, and they're 10-5.
Okay. Should Cairns be in the top 4? They beaten who twice?
Perth.
And who else?
Melbourne.
They beaten the champs twice.
And Melbourne
Convincingly.
He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant.
He leads the league in assists. Take him off the team, they lose. They're not there.
MVP, mate. The MVP, I think it's Cotton and Creek, and then Machado and Ware after that.
Yeah, I've got DJ Newell as Defensive Player of the Year.
I like
the smaller guy. I think the Cairns, you mentioned it earlier, I think he's been really good. We all had the same, it's down there, we all had the same most improved with Dane Pinot.
Can we chuck it back up on the screen here so we can get it?
There we go, Will Weaver. I want an asterisk against LaMelo Ball as well. I did put that in brackets. I didn't put that up. I think LaMelo Ball will stay in the NBL, and they continue to tell us that will actually happen. But if he doesn't, I think Quat Noy will be the Rookie of the Year because I don't think he's played enough games.
And I also think that Eric Griffin will be Sixth Man of the Year when all is said and done, but he hasn't come off the bench for the majority of his games thus far.
I had Sek Henry. Who did you have for Sixth Man of the Year?
Me?
Yeah, you had Kadee and then Bruce.
Just over Henry for me.
All right, you can get involved. Hashtag NBL20 at home. Hashtag Seeing Credible to give your mid-season predictions or how you've seen the year so far. All right, double overtime at NBL will be released in around 24 hours' time, so look into that. Yes, all NBL team. Thank you, Guy, at the back, for letting me know that I missed that. Let's get to the all NBL teams.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We all had Machado.
We've got Machado. Corey does not have Ware. So you've gone Creek as an outside guy.
Yep.
Okay. So I've gone Creek as inside. But
So
I
have
feel
I.
you. I
He
feel
played
you.
four a
But
lot.
He came in intending to play small forward, and But with the Wesley injury, he's played power forward for most of the season. But I feel you on that.
We've got identical team there, Liam, Santa Maria, and
There you go.
Corey's gone listed a little bit different. The old three inside, two outside, however you want to play. Is it? No, three outside, two inside?
Yeah.
Can that change? Can it be three inside, two outside, or is that specifically that is the rule?
No, that's how it's set up right now,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Guy, at the back for reminding me, all NBL. Okay, you are on an island. We have been on an island, the Brisbane Bullets. They got the win on Saturday night. Are you still there as we have a look? You know what? Guy Neville works. Guy Neville said to me he works 17 hours a day. He does a great job. This took him 6.5 hours to do. There you go. Are you still on the island?
Coo-wee.
You still there?
I need someone to come pick me up.
Yeah.
I'm off, mate. I'm off. I'm the last man off the Brisbane Island. They had a chance to take on the two bottom teams this week, get a 2-0 weekend, get back to 500 and then reset and go from there. And they just let it slip through their fingers down there in New Zealand. And as a result, look, their next 6 games, 4 of them against Perth, Melbourne and Sydney. One of them's at Cairns. Now, they're in a whole bunch of trouble. And I got to be honest, I want to see a bit more passion out of the Bullets. I want to see a bit more passion out of Andre Lamanis. He's a 3-time championship winning coach. So I've got a lot of respect for him and the way he goes about it. And that's why I was on them, because I respect him, the guys on that team, the culture that I felt that they were building and so on and so forth. But every post-game press conference, it's about the stats. It's about Trevor Gleeson sit there.
You know what I'm going to do right now? This is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to wrap you up because we've got 10 seconds. And you're off the island, mate. You don't have to tell us anymore.
I'm off.
Double overtime, Maddie.
I'm off.
See you next week.